more goals from Logitech. But yeah, it might just be that they need to adopt a more aggressive tactic moving forward.
Here it is. Don't hesitate. Go full ham, you know. Sometimes it is the offense that is the best defense. Sometimes it is defense that is the best offense. But in this case, it is... We don't want to hesitate, you know. We want to capitalize. Everybody's going to make mistakes here. So you can always play off mistakes, right? If you just try to stay composed, it's a game of opportunities. If you don't allow yourself to go for the opportunities, you don't really have too much that you can do. And a brilliant save by the blue side, just donking AJ's shot. He wasn't able to actually get it in. I think it was Celtic that was up in the skies here. And Alec getting a big bang going all the way up the ceiling. Celtic trying to go up to the air. AJ wasn't able to actually get the touch he was looking for. And it is looking a lot closer, and here we go. Look at that. It is 1-0 to Logitech. This is what we want to see, a bit more aggressive.
An opening goal from Logitech. Kovac slotting it in past AJ. AJ getting a touch, but not quite enough to keep it from going into his net. Is this the turnaround that Logitech have been looking for?
You know what? They might want to push for one more goal. They might not say it's over. It is Rocket League at the end of the day, and the goals here are... They can go really, really fast, especially in those ranks like here, when they're like all kind of like a mix-up of ranks. You know, it's a game of opportunities at the end of the day, as I just said there a while ago. You know, it's not about who's making more mistakes. It's about who creates more chances for the team and who capitalizes on more of those chances, right? So I am predicting a lot more goals in every match here. I would be very surprised to see something that has under 3 goals in a match. But we will get to see that. AJ has an opportunity, pushing off the corner, looking for a double tap. Can he get it? He gets a double tap towards Alec there. Kovac capitalizing. What a brilliant intercept. Trying to go for a backward pass, but a brilliant save there by Connor. Now 2 of the players. The power of friendship, they say. They went all 3 now for the same ball from the blue side. Can Alec throw in the ball for Connor? What a brilliant pass. I'm pretty sure he got such a touch, but it wasn't enough to get it in towards the goal and the side of the net. And here it is, a brilliant save by the blue side. It is just like a scrambled egg. It's got like left and right, back and center, but I cannot lie. It looks a lot more consistent than from the first game.
Yeah, it seems a lot more even than that first game in the series. Definitely, possibly due to the fact that Logitech are becoming more and more aggressive. Alcasaur scoring a second for them now, and Dogpatch not quite having a chance to reply just yet. But like Magic said, this is Rocket League, and anything can happen in a matter of seconds. Another kickoff now. 2 minutes and 32 seconds left on the clock. Alcasaurus almost getting a touch, but AJ able to intercept that ball. Back to Heltic now, who's got a good intercept, sending it back flying. Alcasaurus trying to get a touch off that backboard, trying to get a nice pinch off it, but not quite managing it. Alec now passing it down towards the midfield. Alcasaurus getting a nice save.
Whoa, the ball is going to go backwards. Those are the tough kind of reads here. Let's see if somebody will try to stick on the walls. What I'm kind of seeing is a lot of those players are choosing to be smart, and they choose not to actually jump off the walls, right? Making that a bit easier and simpler for themselves, right? So those players are adapting to the pitch, right? Rocket League is an extremely mechanical game, so it's nice to see that each of the games here, those players are just still trying to ramble the best out of what they have, because essentially the car is their whole body here, and there is a lot that you can do with the body. We have all 3 of the players trying to make sure that the ball doesn't go to the back of the net from the blue side here. And a very dangerous corner up in the air with AJ. The ball doesn't go into the back of the net. Adding, taking it back towards his corner. He's getting first by El Casaros here. Kovac, he's going back towards the boost. He's trying to cover the net here. Can he do much? He does cover, and then AJ with Connor trying to press a pass outcome to Alec in the corner. The blue side is still trying to cover, and Heltic is stuck in that very awkward front post, but he still was able to make the save despite being in an awkward position. And here it is. It is about to be a game. It's 3-0 to the blue side. What a comeback here. You know, the first match we've seen like dominant from one side, but it's like a complete flip over on this match here.
Logitech have managed to kind of button up their boots or lace up their boots, tighten up their boots a little bit more this game, and have managed to secure a 3-goal lead now with only 30 seconds, about to be 30 seconds left on the clock. Kovac getting a nice touch there. Haltic trying to get out of his way. AJ trying to take a shot, but 2 bodies in the way to block that from going anywhere. Kovac getting in the way. Haltic going to clear the ball now back towards his opponent's side. Back to AJ. Passing it over his own front net is a risky play. Risky move to make for sure. Haltic able to intercept that, but not quite getting the touch he wanted. Very closely went in, but off the post it came, and Kovac getting the clearance he needed back to AJ, and it's going to touch the ground. Logitech taking game 2 in this best-of-7 series. Pretty much a case of it being, you know, a very back and forward.
Very back and forth. And it's same thing with the posts, you know. Logitech was struggling with the post and crossbar, you know, when it all started in the first match of the series. And now you have the same thing from Dogpatch. They also hit the post a lot of times. They also were very close to scoring, and it was just off when they're trying to go for the shots. So it is a game of consistency here, but it's getting closer and closer. Let's see if both of the sides can start capitalizing on those opportunities, or will the opposite happen where both sides will just, you know, go too wide on their shots, you know? But it is looking interesting, you know? We start off with like a big lead from Dogpatch, and now we have like a good dominant game from the Logitech guys. So, as we say here, they're adapting to each other, and we love to see that.
Yeah, they definitely seems to be that Logitech adapted to their opponent's play style very quickly after that first game, and you know, getting that goal at the end of game 1 gave them that little bit of a wind in their sails to take the game 2 from Dogpatch, showing them that they're here to play and they're not here to lose. They're here to take it all home. Alcasaurus getting a nice touch into his opponent's corner, but now all 3 of Logitech powering away from the ball, going back for the defensive. Haltic getting a nice clearance there, but not quite out of the danger just yet. Connor getting a nice touch back to Alec now. A triple commit there from the side of Logitech on the defensive. Haltic getting in the way of that ball. Back to Kovac now. Alcasaurus is going to get the touch instead. Alec back to AJ, trying to get a passing play going, trying to confuse the defense a little bit there. Alcasaurus on the ball, 0 boost. Can he find a teammate to make a pass? Not just yet. Ball is loose in the midfield, and there's nobody there to defend it, but Alec is going to send it just a little bit wide back towards Alcasaurus, who was in his own corner waiting for that ball, trying to get it past Connor, but not quite managing just yet. Kovac in the corner, trying to get a touch on that ball, get the clearance, but there it is from Alcasaurus. Kovac back up, but towards his own net, possibly a mistake touch from him. AJ trying to get a little bit fancy with it, trying to go for an aerial, play his man. Alcasaurus getting a nice touch towards his opponent's corner. Not quite sure who was that, but didn't quite get the touch. Alcasaurus is going to finish it off. Another lead, another game where Logitech take the lead, potentially. This is the turning point for them in this season.
They're actually doing very nice now. What I've actually realized, especially from the first games, Logitech were actually pretty laid back in when they started, and now what they're doing, they're looking for the demos, they're looking for the opportunities, they're playing a lot more aggressively. I think it was Kovac I seen at one point, he was just chasing after a bunch of demos, getting himself some boost and going back. But as I speak, maybe a little bit of a caster course. AJ came back here to get Dogpatch a goal, and it is a draw again. Both sides, they will be fighting for it. There is not going to be no easy way out. It's nice to see like both sides just being warriors on the pitch. going through the battle of Rocket League with their small little RC cars just driving home the picture. AJ looking for a little shot, but he actually gets bumped. Can Alexaris just turn into that? He does turn into that. He's trying to get a pop-up control touch into a second touch. A good read there by Connor. He intercepts that brilliantly. And Alec wasn't able to make the shot because Helptic, he was playing that bit more aggressively. And this is what we see from the blue side. They are a lot more aggressive, whereas the oranges, they seem to be communicating a lot more because there's a lot less double and triple commits from the orange side. But despite that, it seems like the pressure for the blue side is actually really working out. Despite the double commits, despite the triple commits, whenever they do want to go for the ball, I think it just causes enough chaos where they have a lot more opportunities because of it.
Yeah, they're not doing the usual tactics, which potentially is catching their opponents off guard that little bit more. They're a little bit less predictable in some of these scenarios, especially going for those double and triple commits. You know, that's not really something you'd expect in most circumstances. Nice block from Alcasaurus there, getting the save. Can he get the clearance out towards the midfield? Beautiful 50 on his part, sending it over his opponent. But Connor getting in the way of that. Kovac trying to get a touch, not quite. Alcasaurus going to get in the way of that ball. Very nicely done. Back to Kovac. But AJ getting in the way of that, making sure that the counterattack didn't become anything too serious. Now, back to side of Dogpatch. What can they do? Can they get the clearance? Nicely done from Connor, making sure the ball didn't get towards his opponents there. Back to AJ now. He's going to try get it over one man. He succeeded, but Kovac getting in the way of that. Alcasaurus off the wall now. Getting a nice touch over one. Back mid, but couldn't quite secure another goal for himself. Alcasaurus, once again, he seems to always just be in those positions, causing chaos and disruption to the attacking plays of Dogpatch. But now back to AJ, just come off the backboard. Kovac in the way, making sure it doesn't reach his side of the pitch. Back to Heltic, who's going to try send it into the corner of Dogpatch. AJ able to intercept that play, get it over one man there, just two to beat, but those two are going to make his life difficult. Very close to going in there, but off the crossbar and then off the post. 25 seconds left on the clock now. It's still 1-1. Who is going to take the goal? The pressure is mounting. Logitech are definitely trying to go for that goal to secure themselves another game and make sure it doesn't go to an overtime. Kovac on the ball, Heltic. But AJ managing to get a touch. Alcasaurus now. The 1 second, don't let the ball touch the ground. And there it is, very nearly.
They're keeping the ball up. I respect the rule. They respect the rule that you keep the ball up. It's the rule 0 that nobody talks about. Don't let the ball touch the ground. And I only can respect the players for making sure the ball doesn't touch the ground at 0 seconds. And here we go, an overtime goal just straight away. Just straight off the kickoff. Dogpatch, they twist it around, they turn it around. AJ, the man that has been going for every shot that Dogpatch ever had this match, he made sure that the ball goes in back of the net here. And what can we say? It seemed like Logitech, they had a lot of pressure. They
yeah, it's definitely going to be a gamble as to who's going to take this, because now Dogpatch has 2 games to Logitech's 1, but Dogpatch needs to be careful that they don't let those opportunities for scoring goals slip and create opportunities for their opponent of Logitech to score goals, because they are very dangerous when they get that pressure on.
It is going to be interesting indeed, and you know, both sides, they seem to be willing to be fighting for it. Nobody's actually, making it into an easy game for the opposite side, which just makes it even more fun to see that whatever it is, whatever it happens, they're trying to play their best game. And I think one of the players decided to actually just wait in a goalkeeper position, and it made it awkward. And Connor gets a kick-off goal right off the bat for Dogpatch. It's not AJ, it's not Alec this time, but it is Connor going with his dominance into the air. Just making sure he gets the fireworks out of the blue side. Only 4 seconds in, Dogpatch get a goal. The power of friendship kickoff going in from Logitech G. AJ going up in the air, can't get the ball touch, but Erkasaros going in for a shot, bounces up the crossbar. And here it is again, the post and the crossbars. They aren't a nice friend to either of those teams, but at the other side, they're actually a really good goalkeeper. So, we'll leave it up to them to dodge. Oh, another, post, and I actually lost connection for some reason.
Yeah, it seems that Logitech are kind of, it's almost like the Dogpatch's goalpost and crossbar have a magnet for the ball in it. They seem to have hit it many times, and we've heard that dreaded ding every single time. But Dogpatch in the lead now for only 1 minute gone, so Logitech still have many chances to come to score goals, even the scoreline. AJ getting a nice block on that ball. Alcasaurus trying to pass it to Kovac, but not really enough room for him to take that shot. But there it is. He's going to go for it. But AJ getting in the way of that. Celtic now taking it up off the wall. What can he make of this? He's not going to take it off it, but potentially a good choice there, as the ball is back in the corner of Dogpatch, but AJ getting the clearance. Gonna get it over the defense, and there's nobody in goals to stop that from going in. All 3 players on the side of Logitech were up on the field, and Alcasaurus trying to rotate back, but wasn't able to manage to get back just in time. 2-0 to Dogpatch now. Another kickoff.
It is a really good game there by both sides. Dogpatch capitalizing on the goals, but don't forget, the only reason Logitech G didn't get a bunch of those goals is because of the post and crossbar getting in the way, and some brilliant saves there by Dogpatch. Alec had a brilliant save, just about making it into one of those awkward angled, fast-moving, fast-paced balls here. And can Dogpatch go for the shot here? Nobody is in the net. Never mind, Health comes out of nowhere from the post. Just making sure he gets the flip, times it correctly. Make sure that the ball doesn't go back of his net. Keeping that 2-0 lead for Dogpatch. Just there, not making it any larger than it is right now. And 2 sides of Connor and Alec weren't able to capitalize. Maybe an open opportunity, but no AJ. He's actually doing a brilliant job just being wherever he needs to be to support his teammates. But as I say, Healthy going in, getting in the goal, and it's only 2-1, only 1 goal difference one more time here.
Yeah, definitely going to be a case of, if Dogpatch want to hold on to this lead, they're going to need to score another goal. And Logitech aren't making it easy for them for the time being, but AJ now on the ball with an opportunity, but is that Kovac in net, getting a beautiful clearance on that one. Alec on the ball now. Celtic looked like he was going to go for it, but might have been a miscommunication there as to who was going to go for that ball. Connor swooping in strongly, but not quite on target. Kovac on the ball, full boost now. He's got basically an open net, and he's missed it!
Oh, the post! The post one more time comes into play. the best goalkeeper of all time is the post, especially on those opens. It is the pressure, you know. People say it is an easy open net, but let's be honest, in Rocket League, it's usually the open nets everybody does actually miss. You know, there's so much option. The net is so big, it is so hard to shoot, but it's not a problem for Alec. He wants to show the blue side how it is done. If he has the opportunity, he goes for the shot using one of the blue side players going in for a dunk. And it is 3-1. But is that lead enough? That is a question. There is still time on the clock. And the goals are just going in and out, nice and quick. They're left and right. There is going to be more goals here. AJ going in for another shot. Gets it up the post, but here it is. He wants to make sure there's going to be more and more just chances of them taking that game in this series home. It's 1-4.
Yeah. 4-1 to the side of Dogpatch. And Logitech managed to recover from this, and Kovac trying to get a sneaky goal in there, but AJ not letting it. He seems to be the man, the MVP at the moment. He's kind of been a good goal-scoring player for the side of Dogpatch, but also being very good on defense and working well as a team player. Ball is loose. Connor going to get to it first, but Alcasaurus cutting that play. Kovac getting a touch, but maybe not enough to score a goal. Alcasaurus now getting a shot on goal, but Alec in the way to stop that. Kovac now trying to get it out of his opponent's corner, but Alec going to get a touch. Back to Heltic now. Back to Kovac once again. What can he make of the situation? Very little boost, but Alec getting in the way of that. Alcasaurus playing his man there. AJ to beat now. Couldn't quite get the touch he wanted on that ball. AJ on the ball now. Logitech, no, he's dangerous in those situations. Alcasaurus trying to get a touch, but goes over. Back to Kovac, who gets a beautiful save in the back there. Back to AJ now. Goes over Heltic, and there it is for Dogpatch. Another game to their name in this best.
We try to figure out what we can actually do, what we can actually implement into our gameplay. I've seen those guys trying to go for a lot more bombs, trying to go for a lot more demos. Are they going to stick to those bombs? Are they going to stick to those demos? Or will they try to sit back and go for a defensive counter-attack game?
Yeah, Logitech going to need to change their strategy once again. Alcasaurus trying to get a touch, but AJ, that was a triple commit from the side of Dogpatch there. Ball is loose. Kovac not quite able to get the ball off AJ. Can he center it for his team? But Alcasaurus able to pass it back to Kovac. He's going to get a nice clearance towards the midfield. Going to get a touch on that ball, and very closely went in, but AJ swooping in at the nick of time to stop that from being an early goal for the side of Logitech. The danger not cleared just yet. Kovac going in strong. AJ, nice 50 from that wall. Back to Alec now, who's going to be sending it down range, but Heltic able to stop that in the midfield. Oh, very close. Off the post, and can they stop it? No, they can't. Connor going to mop up that situation. off the post, off the second. Defenders didn't quite know what to do in that situation. A little bit of panic happening on the back line for the side of Logitech. But another kickoff once again. Dogpatch in the lead in this game.
Dogpatch, they really just want to close it down. They really want the win. But Logitech, they won't make it easy. They are putting their cars in between the goal and in between the ball, in between the shots. They are still playing, they are still in the game, and they're not making it any nice and easy for the Oranges. And here we go. There is an opportunity, a big shot coming in. Alec just making the save, making sure the ball goes towards the corner. AJ always taking it up for his game here, just trying to cover for all his teammate touches here. Connor, he gets a touch towards his own side here into the corner. Alec can't really make it. LSR tries to look for a pass, but it goes way too far wide. Kovac popping the ball up. Celtic, he's just waiting. He doesn't actually want to go up for the ball. Orange side putting in the pressure. Connor taking in the shot, but very good 50 challenge there by Kovac. Alec trying to get the ball into the high zones of the air. Can he do much with it here? There's a good bunch of players there in the corner, and the corners are the most safe and dangerous spots all at the same time. Elasaurus here, he's trying to put the ball to the other side of the corners. They're just trying to play it out like a ping pong at the moment. The game is very close. Alec trying to turn. He actually didn't leave it for AJ. He was still backing out, and AJ wanted the ball, giving Logitech some time and possession here. AJ tries to keep some possession. He tries to keep the ball up for himself. He's trying to take the ball high, making it as awkward as possible for the Logitech side, but it isn't enough just yet, because the Logitech side, they're still fighting for it. They're still doing a great job here. Can they still keep it on? Can they still keep it going? Can they search for the goal they need? Because they are still fighting, they're still going, they're still playing aggressively. And what I'm seeing is the Dogpatch side looks to be set more in defense. Is that an opportunity where Logitech can get an aggressive pressure going? Or will they get counterattacked on?
Yeah, it definitely seems that the Dogpatch tend to stick towards their own side of the pitch when Logitech are in possession, possibly as a way to stop anything from going in, but also almost preserving boosts so that they can very quickly go on that counter offensive. But Logitech trying to keep the pressure on their opponent. AJ getting a nice touch there. And come off the wall, get another nice touch back towards Alcasaurus. He's gonna get a beautiful clearance back towards his opponent's corner where Connor is there in anticipation. Getting a touch back to Celtic now. But Alec trying to read that ball. Kovac getting in the way. Back to Alcasaurus. Tried to get the 50, but didn't quite play out in his favor. Celtic on the ball now. Back to Kovac. He's going to intercept that. Yeah, it's a very ping-ponged affair is probably the best way of putting it. Both of these teams have seemed to definitely found their stride, and it's just a case of when that opportunity opens up, who is going to take full advantage of it. Of course, 40 seconds left on the clock. Logitech trailing by 1 goal, but still an opportunity to secure a draw, potentially an overtime for themselves, and give themselves that little bit more of a lifeline in this series. Bearing in mind, it is now 3-1 in this best of 7 to Dogpatch. Kovac on the ball, sending it high. Not quite able to get to the ball for Alec there, but AJ able to stop that from going in. 10 seconds now. The countdown is on.
Ball is still not in the back of the net of the blue side. 0 seconds. Will they keep the ball up? The rule 0 and the ball isn't actually kept up for too long. It is going to be the Dogpatch side that is taking the victory here. That is taking the W here. A brilliant match by both of those guys there, especially to good credit to AJ. He has been pretty much everywhere on the pitch where they needed him. And good congratulations just to all the guys there. They're all put on the show. Nobody was actually hesitant to not try. They all were committing for anything they felt like they needed to commit. And to be fair, it was a lot closer, than expected from the very beginning. I did want to see like a Game 7 game, but to be fair, Game 1 was one-sided, Game 2 was one-sided, the other side. Every other game then was pretty much nice and balanced, pretty much even, So very good to see that there was competition between both of those sides.
It definitely seemed that it was a little bit of a rocky start for Logitech in that game 1, but as soon as that was over, they got straight to work from there and just went for goals. Big congratulations to Dogpatch for walking away with the win in this best of 7 and the grand finals of the Ireland Esports Office Showdown 2025. Had to remember it there, as I'm usually casting collegiate, but so a big thank you to everybody who competed. Again, massive thank you to Magic for filling in at such short notice, and being a great caster and Rocket League player as well. A big thank you to Fleming, who's actually our producer this evening. He's in the background. You can't hear him, but we can. And thank you all for tuning in on a weekly basis. And we hope to see you again very soon. And of course, don't forget to watch all of the other games that are going on throughout this week.